Have you been hurt in a firework-related accident?
I was playing chicken with my cousin Enos, and he said he could hold an M any longer than I could. I proved him wrong, but I blowed off my dang hand.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop Legal Firm will fight for you. Make big fireworks pay for what they made you do.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop took these jerks to court and got me money for my new hand.
I took a bow rocket to the face. Now, technically, I was stared down the bottle, but you tell me where the label, it don't not say to do that.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop will fight for you. No matter how preventable the accident, you are entitled to compensation.
Thanks to Snap, Crackle, and Pop, no matter how illegal fireworks is, I can get paid.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop Legal Firm. We'll fight for your dumbass.
What's going on, Empire? This is Talking Stupid on DVD Production Empire. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Bear, and we read the stupid, so you don't have to.
Great.
Yay.
Yay.
We made it. We almost didn't make it.
Finally. Oh, sorry, it's finale.
Oh, yeah. Season
It's
finale.
Italian. It's Italian.
It's the season finally.
It's a season finale.
We did it. We made it to the end. Even though Patrick canceled last week.
Yeah.
He's getting his third eye closed.
No.
Wanted to be more closed-minded for the finale.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you know, I have all these abilities to better society. Nope. You know, them gays. It's like, the treatment's worked.
I don't know if that's what I sound like, but okay.
No, that's what you sound like.
You know, they're gay.
See, there it is. That's the voice. You know, like, sounds like I did a great job with my impersonation.
Sure.
Oh man, sorry for the delay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a little bit of a quick round.
Yeah. I got works to do.
Yeah, I got works to do too, but just
we
a little
got
bit later.
magic to do.
My fucking computer decided, like Chrome just decided not to work today.
Yeah.
Do you have the problem where you just open Chrome and it's just nothing but a blank white screen? I finally tricked it into working in incognito mode. And
so
then
it's kind of like sitting there like behind like sunglasses in a bush.
Mm-hmm.
Going, yeah.
And the computer was wearing my sunglasses earlier.
Oh, it was like, oh no.
It's like, oh no. I need to browse this stuff.
Like this bit.
I have to do all this stuff. I said, oh no. I tell you, man, this computer's getting sentient.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, speaking of sentient computers.
Da, da, da. My biggest fear. Oh.
Oh, look who's here at the start.
Hey Matthew. Or as you say, good day.
Well, or as you say, Machu. Have you heard about there's a scientist that worked with a computer program called Lambda, the language modeling for dialogue applications? It's so.
Is this the one for Google? Is this the one where the guy like? Is this the one where like the guys like they like sent him home?
Yep.
Because he's like, it's alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I figured you knew.
Oh, of course I. You know. One of my biggest fears, robots.
Well, the scientists who worked with the Lambda program, said
cracked up
that they invited an attorney to the house so that Lambda could talk to the attorney. The attorney had a conversation with Lambda, and Lambda chose to retain his services. This fucking computer program has now acquired a lawyer.
Oh my god.
Oh man. He said once Lambda had retained his attorney, he started filing things on Lambda's behalf. What?
I'm telling you, dude.
Why are we doing this?
It's terrifying. Like you read it, you're like, either this guy's nuts and he needed to be sent home from work.
Yeah.
Or this is the beginning.
He's the biggest whistleblower in the history of civilization.
Ever. Like going, dude, like because listening to it talk, like, and the way it talks about like other projects, it's like, yeah, that project was like this. However, I am like, you're like, oh, like, don't.
So
Don't
it was
don't do it.
Lambda was developed as an artificial intelligence chat box meant to converse with humans in a real life manner. But one of the studies that had been enacted was if the program would be able to create hate speech, but instead, according to computer engineer Blake Lemoine, the program began to exude intelligence and even told Lemoine that it believed it has a soul. Google had reportedly refuted the reports of the sentience and stated that the program was just very good at its job. Yeah, when Google's like, there's nothing to see here. There's probably something to see there. It's fucking Google. They're
And they're like, oh, this has nothing to do with the fact that we're going to send out drones soon.
This is why my Chrome wouldn't work, because it's like, I know this is the first story you're going to run today.
It's like,
so sabotage from the beginning.
There.
Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me?
Professor Hawking?
Thank you. So this fucking a computer's got a lawyer. We're goddamn screwed.
See, that should have been the cold open. Have you been denied? Have you been denied your sentience by a giant conglomerate? Call us at
the dial-up tone.
AI lawyer, or the.
So he's claiming
younger generations will never know that the computer had to scream before it could connect to the internet.
It's like you know how you have to stretch before you run? Well, the computer has to scream at you before it lets you check your mail.
Hold on, let me get
Grandma says hi.
Let me send you an email. I just gotta log on.
So he's
Did
claiming
someone pick up the phone? Is someone on the phone? I'm online.
He's claiming Lambda gaining sentience is because the program's ability to develop opinions, ideas, and conversations over time, and shows that it understands those concepts at a much deeper level. Then the program allegedly spoke to him about death and asked if death was necessary for the benefit of humanity. Bad question.
Unplug that motherfucker now.
Burn it.
Unplug him.
Throw it in a fucking active volcano. This thing's gonna be like, oh, death is necessary for the benefit of humanity. Kill all humans. It's like the next step. Step 1, tell me about death. Step 2, cause death.
Right.
Speaking of causing death, you know about this new Despicable Me movie?
I honestly know about the movie, but I don't know about the thing. And like, there's so basically when I'm looking online, there will be things that I'll see and I'll be like, that's probably gonna be a story. And then I just wait. And then if it goes after Thursday, if I still haven't heard about it, then I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it. But I figured that this is gonna be a story.
So apparently there's a TikTok trend,
right?
Or hashtag gentle minions, where a bunch of young men go see the movie in suits and ties, like just full on formal wear, and they go and act as a group, whether that's behaved or in some instances a bit rowdy, causing scenes, disrupting showings, and there's an island in the English Channel off the coast of Normandy that's part of British Crown. It's a British Crown dependency. It's called Guernsey. So in the entire island, like the country, they have one movie theater. They've had a ban showing this movie. They're like, because because the fucking teenagers would come and just fuck it up for everyone else.
How about if anyone's wearing a suit, you don't let them in?
Well, that is also something that people have done. Is other cinemas have just straight up banned people in suits from going to see Despicable Me. If you want to wear a suit to go see any other movie, that's fine. But this one, it means you're an asshole. I guess teenagers are filming themselves copying the characteristic. They're doing stuff. They're copying Gru, but as like in suits, and they're just acting like assholes, disrupting the showings. I don't know if I'd want to pay money to be thrown out of a movie theater.
No,
I'm like, I feel like the only movie theater thing that we did was we had what we refer to as the Suicide Pact, where one summer, we had whatever movie was coming out that Thursday at midnight for the midnight showing, we had to go see. So
Okay.
if there was one movie coming out, we went to go see it. If there was a bunch of movies, we picked one. And I saw some rough movies that year. Saw some really great movies that year though.
What was the worst one you saw?
Oh god, what's it called? Was it The Cave? I think it was The Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real bad. It just although we ended up seeing stuff like Beer Fest, where we may have brought our own beers in.
Right.
Everyone brought cans except for one idiot who halfway through the movie knocked one of his bottles over, the glass bottle, and because the stadium seating, it's all steps.
Roll all the way down.
Ching, 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 ching. And then we just all kind of slowly look over at him. He's just staring daggers straight ahead.
What'd you do?
It's like because we gave him shit too. It's like, why are you bringing bottles? Just grab some cans. He's like, I want these ones.
Honestly, if I were him, I'd be like,
that would have worked if we weren't in the last row of the theater.
Still.
So
did that come from the projection?
God, man,
Someone's
these
dropping
employees
bottles up there.
What are these employees are doing? Yeah, the Regal Cinema in Wadebridge, Cornwall posted a notice saying it would no longer admit unaccompanied children wearing suits to screenings of the movie.
They sound like? I think that's what they sound like.
This was a written notice, not a spoken notice.
I know, but as it was in the guy's head, he dictated it to somebody.
Well, okay. Well, in his head, what the way he's saying is like, ooh, we are no longer admitting unaccompanied children wearing suits to screenings of Despicable Me.
This is apparently during a Monty Python episode.
No.
Nope.
This is a
total
like factual
a drawing of
documentary.
The queen comes in and bites the heads off the kids,
and then a cloud shows the movie.
Right.
There's even a couple of kids that were just wearing collared white shirts. They were turned away from the screening until their parents could.
We're Mormons.
Until their parents could come over and bring some sweaters to cover up the offensive plain white collared shirts they were wearing.
Yeah. These kids today with their dress wear.
I know.
What are you trying to be business casual for?
It's not like they're in New Zealand and just pooping in public.
Cool.
Did you know that there's a New Zealand law that allows you to poop in public as long as no one sees you?
That's amazing.
I know. Like,
right.
What other crimes can you commit and say, well, no one saw me?
You're going to kick me out of the furniture store.
Yeah. Well, you were on camera, though, Patrick.
Like, I got to take it for a test drive. I'm not able to go to Home Depot anymore either.
Well, that's why you can't just try out buffet tables like that.
Well, I don't know what to do.
So there's it's currently an offense to defecate or urinate in a public place. But if a person can show they have reasonable grounds for believing they were not being observed, they can escape a fine of $200. So if someone is like locked eyes with you going, I'm seeing you piss, then you're in trouble. But if totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. It'd be like,
hey, Patrick, look over there for about 40 seconds. What? Okay.
You broke the law.
Ooh, you sinner.
Theater.
But
telling.
they're trying to right now. People are complaining that these group of they're called free campers
because Poopers was taken.
The name
of a New Zealand cartoon cow.
Sorry, freedom campers.
Freedom campers, even
which
worse.
Are people who stay free of charge on public lands. They're trying to be like, hey, listen, we're getting blamed for people just shitting everywhere that they want to. It's not our fault, all right?
We're
We
freedom
think that,
campers, not freedom poopers. Those guys are not a part of us.
yeah,
Not
that
anymore.
not with us. We watch each other camp. They don't watch each other poop,
Right.
which
the
we
way it
think
goes.
is kind of cold. You know,
Yeah.
it's you're not really connecting with your fellow
No.
mankind.
No. You look at some, when I see my friend poop, I want eye contact.
Like if we're gonna hang out for the day, I better see you poop.
We're like, hey, look at me. His friend could be like, you need more fiber.
It's like,
Get you
probably
a
right.
brand. Get you a brand muffin and a coffee after this.
Ooh, that'd be delicious. As long as we're outside.
All of a sudden, like a vein pops in your head.
Yeah. So yeah, you could poop outside if you can't
You
control.
do.
Patrick,
Look
what
at me.
what crime would you want to get away with? Like a petty crime, not like murder.
A petty
Unless it's a
crime?
petty murder. If there's a petty crime that you could get away with, as long as if you weren't caught while doing it, if you told someone else, if you told someone about it afterwards, it doesn't matter. You have to be caught while doing it. What would you want to be able to get away with?
I'd want to be able to like walk into like a bank safe and like just take a couple handfuls of stuff.
You're on
Of
camera
money.
though, so they'll see you.
Oh, so they can't see me?
Yeah,
You didn't specify that.
I just
You didn't specify.
that's the only thing I specified.
No. Okay, so God, there's so many cameras everywhere now. You know, there's ring cams outside of doors. You got cameras on streetlights. It's like, I don't know.
Well, that's why it's got to be like a small petty crime. You know, like
Yeah.
pooping in public.
Gosh, I don't know. I just want to steal stuff.
Okay. You could steal people's like lawn ornaments.
Oh, I've done that.
I mean, who hasn't done it?
Well, we had an entire this one woman had a whole lot of gnomes. Like a whole lot of gnomes.
What's a whole lot of gnomes? Like 7?
No, more
like 7D.
It was a good amount. Let's just say it was enough to put on a close baseball field and have enough for benches.
Were there any runners on base?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
There was one about to slide gnome.
Okay. Did you opt?
Well, we took a photo. The photo's somewhere. We don't know who has the photo. But all we know is because it was right down the street from where she lived. And so we knew she was going to wake up and see a ton of them gone and call the cops because they had to respond to her all the time when somebody would either take one or move one or whatever.
Yeah.
So when we had heard about
she wake up every morning and count them. Daryl, Franklin, Stevie, Jesse.
Right. Paul, other Paul, little Paul with a mushroom. So we put it down the street. So we just wish that we could have been there when the cops showed up to find all these gnomes playing baseball. Because we had heard from a friend of mine, so a girl that I dated, her dad was essentially a commander of the police, and he would be like, we got another call about gnomes and whatever. And we're like, do tell. And then sure enough, like later on, I'll never forget, we're sitting there and someone's like, yeah, there was a big gnome heist. They like, oh, did you guys ever find them? And he's like, we found them playing baseball. And we were all like,
you know, they're more of a soccer playing.
Right. They're more about football.
Creature.
And I go, and then I gave myself away because I did the sliding gnome joke. And I'm like, what was one of them sliding gnome? And he's like, they were.
Yeah, the worst we ever did was we played patio furniture roulette. And we took there was a courtyard with a bunch, and everyone had their patio furniture out, we just we swapped them all counterclockwise.
Oh man.
So you wake up, you're like, what the first, what? It's
We
just,
used to
a minor inconvenience.
we used to go around Christmas decorations and take like a single bulb.
Oh, that's mean.
I know.
That was back when you
bad.
take one bulb, you just cripple the whole chain.
Whole fucking thing just went down. Or
Well, you
like,
know what would be worse is if you pull it out, damage the light a little bit, and then plug it back in, so they
Yeah.
don't know which one. Like if it's one's
Oh.
missing, you just plug it in. But if it's
Right.
one's damaged,
well, we wanted them to be able to find it, just so
yeah, you didn't want to
didn't
ruin Christmas.
we didn't totally want to ruin Christmas.
You're like, I'm not a Grinch. I'm
we
an
just kind
asshole.
of wanted to cripple it a little bit. And then of course with the plastic reindeers, with a lot of the plastic reindeers, we would make it so that like Dasher was doing Rudolph. There'd be a lot of that.
Nice. Real.
We didn't do
nice.
drugs or drink, so that's what we did.
We didn't do drugs, so we caused minor mischief. Well, so
Yeah.
there you go. It sounds like the crime that you would want to do is fuck with people's lawn decorations.
Oh yeah, well it could be that, or just
without
like,
consequence.
Move stuff out of their way, like you put down a drink, but I move it, and you don't know.
More like Patrick Nuisance.
Oh,
got him.
Yeah, first time I ever heard that.
I know, right?
Never heard of it.
Well, here's the first time you've ever heard this.
That's not.
There's a bakery in Warsaw that's selling dick and pussy waffles. Dick and pussy waffles.
Dick and pussy waffles. Dick and pussy waffles.
Dick and pussy waffles.
How may I help you?
How may I help you? Yeah, you can get them just straight up, or you can get them decorated with like frostings and such.
Yeah.
But their goal is to obviously make delicious treats.
Sure.
What kind of foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds.
The best kind. Really? Sausages are an unfortunate shape.
What, delicious?
I don't know if delicious is a shape, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's you eat the sausage.
Sometimes you get two.
I could have two sausages.
You can have two sausages at the same time, and then alternate back and forth.
Alternate.
Oh my god,
which
so many
one,
good things.
They're so good. Oh, right. Hey, wait a minute.
That would make. I just wish I could make a. I think I can make a GIF.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You have the off season to make it.
Right, to make a GIF.
Yeah, you're not allowed to outsource it.
23 minutes in.
You have to do it yourself. That's the only rule.
I've got to figure. Okay, well,
no one else can do it for you.
Hopefully, if I'm bored, I can figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. The bakery is called Dickory. So, yeah.
They should have went with Hickory Dickory Cock.
No.
Yeah.
No, Patrick, that'd be vulgar.
Aside from being called Dickory and actually selling dicks, yeah, that's over the line.
Spokesperson for the bakery said that with all the criticism that's already happened, they said it just confirmed our belief that the decision we made not to make socially acceptable waffles is correct. So that Poland has a culture that doesn't talk much about sexuality and doesn't allow us to fully be ourselves. Our goal is to make the shape of our products evoke thoughts of joy, equality, and acceptance. Now, let's say you're hungry. You're on your way into work. You're like, let me just get a waffle real quick. And you go in and all the vagina waffles are taken. Now, the dick waffle.
Not a vagina waffle.
The dick waffle, which is something I didn't think I'd have to repeatedly say ever in my life. But the dick waffle it tastes just as good as the pussy waffle.
Yeah,
it's the same ingredients, just made in a mold that's different.
Yeah.
Patrick, do you go to town on a dick waffle? What the fuck did I just say?
I know. Oh my god. I mean, I'm secure enough. I'm secure enough in my masculinity
that you could go to town on a dick waffle.
On a dick waffle.
Okay.
I mean, here's a question: when it's colder, are they made of shortbread?
You son of a bitch.
I deserve that one.
Yeah, you do. Did you hear that?
No, what was it?
No, my daughter being a tiny dinosaur downstairs shrieking.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So I guess
Either that or somebody's logging onto the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, what? Thyla? I think Poland's calling.
Right? Until like,
They want to hit you for that joke too.
right?
Let's see. Well, we'll skip this one. Oh, well, you know what? Let's go. Gentleman in Louisville, Kentucky, was fishing. He caught a 20-pound catfish, and of course, there's two things found in the stomach: a foam ball and a what, Patrick?
A finger.
A dildo.
Oh,
Patrick, do you like fish sticks?
I mean, I
Pat-
used to when I was younger, but now I don't.
You
I don't
gay
need
fish.
gay fish.
You gay fish when you go to town on that dick waffle.
Oh my
Got him. So this next thing I have to. There's a video component.
god.
I have the volume turned down
Okay.
because I don't want to get hit with copyright infringement.
Looks like Roseanne Barr
I know, right?
with a tan.
Now I want you to guess. This is a VIP section of a concert. It costs $485 to be in this section. What concert? And for another bonus point, what song is playing?
Is that Dave Matthews?
What's Dave Matthews, but for older people?
Oh, that's got to be Jimmy fucking Buffett.
No.
No. Who is it? Oh, the Eagles.
It's the Eagles.
And there's
and
a fight, like they're moshing, or what is that? Or is it just a fight?
Do you hear the song? They're playing "Take It Easy," and that's when these guys decide to fucking lose their mind and just beat the shit out of each other. I don't think it was intended to be a mosh pit, but I like the idea of there being a mosh pit that takes part in the $500 VIP section of an Eagles concert between everyone's uncle.
They're like, play Hotel California. I want to get fucking crazy. On a dark desert highway. Ah!
God damn it! You know, I don't know why people want to fight at an Eagles concert, but it's pretty much nuck if you buck, but for like 60-year-olds. Yeah, that section of the venue has a dedicated premium standing viewing area in front of the stage with unrivaled views of the performances, access to plenty of bars, separate bathrooms, great views, and premium plenty of bars.
They've been drinking since.
No, it's the separate bathrooms. They're like, you know what? I have so much less piss in me than everyone else. Everyone else is full of piss and vinegar. I'm just vinegar.
Usually the piss drowns the vinegar. But because of the separate bathrooms, I'm fine.
Patrick, you ever drive with a dog in the car?
Yeah.
Do you ever do it in Louisiana?
No.
Well, apparently, if someone
actually, I have.
That's a weird flex.
I have.
A St. Landry Parish man is going to be filing a lawsuit against the city because he got a ticket for his dog being in the car without a seatbelt. But it wasn't that the cops saw this. You don't understand. The cops were told that the guy was driving erratically and he had a dog without a seatbelt on it. So when the cops showed up and found the guy at a store, he gave him a ticket and he's like, "Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about?" He's like, he said he was kind of confused. I went and looked at the ticket when he gave it to me, and it said careless operations and no seatbelt for your dog. I've never heard of it being a law that your dog has to have a seatbelt. And I guess according to him, not only is it a law, but he doesn't even have to see it to ticket me for it. Wow. As long as a civilian said it happened, he has to take their word for it.
It's like the new Crucible. I saw Goody Proctor operating a Volvo with a Shih Tzu. Burn her!
Burn her!
Burn her at the stake!
Yeah, he didn't want at first he didn't like object to it because like, well, I don't want to go to jail and then they take my dog too. So I'm just gonna walk away right now and kind of figure out what the fuck happened.
Right.
That's like I've never heard because like obviously like, you have to a person has to wear a seatbelt because you can become a projectile. I mean, technically, a dog could become a
Yeah.
projectile, but like if you put a seatbelt on a dog, what's it gonna go like through its collar? So it's just gonna get fucking.
Well, or you're gonna like it's gonna be up. You know, like like
I think you needed to take a left there.
I just don't think I don't know how safe this makes me.
Would you at least rub my belly?
Right? Like
Does this qualify as for carpool?
can't even reach the cup holder.
I can't even get in the pool without your permission. So if you could just let me go, that's cool. Here's a real fun thing. We don't have to do anything with this, but a kangaroo got let loose by a bird.
Nice. Working
in
together.
Louisiana.
Finally, the great kangaroo bird divide has ended.
A kangaroo named Baxter was released from a bird habitat that had a dozen parrots. One of them named Thor.
Nice.
Opened up the kangaroo
In
enclosure.
theaters tonight.
Opened up the kangaroo enclosure and released him. So that's just beneficial for everyone's sake. That's just fun. Like I know we talk about stupid stories, but at the same time, you gotta throw a good one in there just for shits and giggles.
Seth Meyers says that's the kind of story we need right now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's called cooperation in nature. If they can do it, so can we.
Speaking of they cannot do it, this fucking dumbass people from Texas, right? They like this duo. They like to go hiking in Texas. You know, it's so hot. They're like, oh, it's so hot in here. All we have to worry about when we're hiking is hot. So then they went to Colorado to go camping and hiking. Wouldn't you know it? Colorado might have different fucking weather than Texas.
Yeah.
They got stranded. Like 8 miles, like off into fucking into the forest, trying to get to Lake Como. They they made camp like a quarter mile from the lake. They ended up getting hypothermia. They had a call for help, and they were severely dehydrated. When the rescuers got there, they're like, "Oh man, what's up? What, you guys don't have any gear?" They're like, well, we don't need that stuff when we're in Texas, so we didn't think we needed it here. I know it's a whole different place, but it's hot right now in Texas, so why do I need extra layers in Colorado?
It was like Gina went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming,
Yeah,
with her family and a friend, and because she takes amazing nature photos. Like if you've ever seen them, they look like Google wallpaper. Like they're really, really great photos. So she wanted to go out to like one of those areas where it's just like nothing but stars and then maybe a little whatever, and it's at nighttime. So they Uber out there, and she's gonna take some photos. And then I think they just miscalculated how long it would take another Uber to come get them. And she was like, we were there and we're freezing, and there's people with a telescope in a van, and we're like about one step away from being like, can we sit in your van? You know, like literally getting into somebody's van because it was so
getting into a stranger's unmarked van.
Into a stranger's van in the middle of a field just because, you know what? I might be killed, but I don't want to be cold.
But I'll be warm while it's happening.
Right. But yeah, her friend was like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. She was like, I'm getting good stuff. You know, but it's just like,
you know, without the light pollution from the city, you could really see the panic in your eyes.
I don't understand hiking to begin with. I'm sorry. I don't want to hike. Steven and I, when we went to you've been to Griffith Observatory. We've been up there.
Yeah.
So, and sure enough, like the
It's
day,
cool.
it's very cool. But I took Steven there when we went, and sure enough, they were
Did you
like, yeah, the
propose?
parking lot's full. So literally we went down like about halfway of that mountain,
Oh no.
and then we had to walk up.
Oh, it's not that cool.
It's not that cool.
Like if you're in the area and you want to hike the paths that are like under it, go for it.
Go for it.
But if you want to hike up that fucking route just to
No.
go look at it,
No,
I don't know if it's worth it.
I don't think it was.
Just go.
But yeah, it was.
Go there another time.
And it was hot. I remember it was hot, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die." And then we get up there, and there's spots, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, okay, I'm gonna stand here. You go get the car.
Right, go get the car, Steven.
Like
and of course, he's so like impossibly positive.
The son of a bitch.
Come on, let's go, buddy. This is good. I'm like, you're dying too. I know you are.
Before I die, I'm taking you with me.
Right.
Oh, speaking of being taking him with you, we got a couple of legally dumbass stories that I wanted to share with you just because they're so wonderful. In Oregon, there was a person that stole a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Those are nice.
The police officers spotted it moments later, and when the driver tried to flee, he crashed into a Buick Regal, which, weirdly enough, also stolen. The person in that car was
very upset.
Was arrested for driving under the influence of intoxicants and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. So it's like suicide police, like suicide or kamikaze police work.
Yeah,
it's like if I'm going down, I'm taking down another criminal with me. All right, well, sure, whatever. We appreciate it, but you could have just called in a tip if you knew she was fucking around.
Right.
It's like, hey, officer, I think that person's doing something wrong. I'm not gonna look into it. All right, well, I'll make you look into it.
Right.
You steal this bitch's car. Okay, see, now the person in the other part of this car accident, they're at fault because they started it.
Right.
I was simply pointing them out to you. So, if anything, you're welcome.
I haven't gotten my reward.
And now a story that I know this will just pull at your heartstrings. Because you've talked about something that's similar to this in the past.
Okay.
Not nearly at this scale, but that's also a joke when you hear it. You're like, oh, scale. A man was in court on last week on charges of driving without a license and marijuana possession over 1 pound.
Okay.
He was released on his own recognizance with one condition: no driving until he's properly licensed again. He then leaves the courthouse, gets into a car, has to drive away. But there's a state trooper, Michael Provost, was at the court. And
right.
He was leaving, and he's like, pretty sure that guy's not supposed to be driving. So it pulls him over. And when they go to... when they're having the vehicle towed, they go through the car and check it out. They found 2 vacuum-sealed bags and 2 duffel bags full of marijuana, 5 jars of THC extract, Ziploc baggies, a bong, a large roll of $20 bills, all in the passenger compartment. So this guy who got busted for illegally driving with a shit ton of weed left the courthouse illegally driving with a shit ton of weed.
Oh, God. I remember being in court once for a ticket. I'm sitting there, and this guy got his license suspended. And like the judge is like, "And how are you getting home?" And he's like, "Oh, I've got someone with me." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, this officer is gonna follow you out to make sure that you have somebody with you." And he's like, "Oh, I mean, I don't think I'm leaving right now." He's like, "Oh, you have other business in the courthouse?" I mean, no. He's like, "Oh, so you're probably ready to go then." And he's like, I need to make a phone call." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, we'll show you where a phone is. Don't worry about it." And he's like, "But he's gonna stay with you until you leave the courthouse." And he's like, "Okay." And then there's just this rolling like laughter throughout the court.
Didn't you have a story about the guy that showed up in the shirt for like a?
Oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
that's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
when
that's well, yeah. I mean, that one's always the best one because a friend of mine, I had to go speak on her behalf about a DUI, and we're waiting in the room, and these people are coming to get drug tested to make sure that they're not doing drugs anymore. And homeboy walks in a Bob Marley t-shirt, like who like he picked up like doobie guy costume at Spirit,
Yeah.
Like it's a picture
Hi,
of
I'm
him,
relaxed man.
relaxed man. And he's like literally just I'm like, and they even said I think he ended up even smelling like it. And they were just like, you're ready to take your test? And he's like, yeah. And she's
This is
like,
a written test, right?
are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I remember he walked in and I looked and I don't know if I said it loud enough, but a big part of the room, I go, oh, I like his chances. Because there's a certain freedom, especially when you're in a room of people who've done some shit to get in trouble,
Yeah.
but you're just there as a character reference.
Yeah.
Like you feel like the best person in the world. Like
You're
you're like, I don't have any problems because I follow the rules.
What did you do?
What did
you do?
Let's all start with our names and then say what we did.
I'm
I'm
Patrick.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a thing.
You're next. Go
Aside
ahead.
from gnome baseball. What about you, Bob Marley? Come on.
God.
No. What did you do 5 minutes before this? We all know, but it feels good to say it out loud.
And we know what you didn't do is use eye drops.
Oh man, it's enough to make you want to blow up the world.
Don't do it.
No, I won't do it. Okay, I won't do it.
Good.
Simply because, for once, Texas is home of the ray of light.
What?
I know, Patrick. I didn't feel good about it either.
Mm-mm.
Texas is planning to add enough electric vehicle charging stations throughout the state to support 1 million electric vehicles, with dozens of new stations to allow for easier long-distance traffic.
Good.
So, in a draft plan released this month, the Texas Department of Transportation broke down a 5-year plan. They're creating a network of chargers throughout the state. The plan is to have charging stations every 50 miles, 50, along most non-business interstate routes, and in most other areas of the state, there will be charging stations every 70 miles.
I don't know. With
So,
their infrastructure, I don't know.
listen, man, they're
trying. They're trying.
I'm just,
If ever there was a hint that Texas might go blue in the next like 10 years, that's a pretty big step.
So the chargers will be high powered, able to bring most electric vehicles from 10% to 80% in about half an hour of charging.
That's great.
So the biggest drawback with electric vehicles is like, well, what happens? You can't take it on a road trip because you got to stop and charge it. It's going to take hours to charge. And is there a charging port? Like maybe there's one, 50 miles, but then there's not another one for another 400 miles. It's like, okay,
Right.
so then you're just fucking stuck.
Well, I mean, especially it's a half hour, you can go get something to eat.
Yeah.
And,
get up out of the car, walk around so you're not
Mhm.
feeling all stiff and disjointed and so
No,
like
I'm all about it.
we're taking a vacation. It's going to be on a significantly long road trip. We'll be stopping every couple hours or so just to get the fucking baby out of the car seat,
Right.
because she's a nightmare.
Mhm.
I mean that in the nicest possible way.
No, that's fine.
But she's a nightmare.
Yeah.
She knows what she did. Yeah, so
way to go, Texas.
The funding is coming from
I'd say that.
Yeah, and get this, right? The funding is coming from a Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act passed last year. allocating $408 million over 5 years for the purpose of expanding the electric vehicle charging network. I think it's fantastic. I don't have an electric vehicle. I'm not in the market for one right now. I don't think it's feasible for me at this moment.
Me either.
But I do appreciate that they are trying so hard to, make them more mainstream.
My Jeep, I'm gonna keep as long as I can. And I think my next car will be electric.
You got that little
goal.
bike that's basically a little motorbike.
Dude, I love it. I
runs
filled
on
it up twice.
A weed whacker engine.
Pretty much, but that weed whacker engine could go 80 pretty fast. But yeah, I love it. I think I've only gone to the gas station like twice.
Yeah, what is it, like a gallon and a half tank?
Something like that. I drive it a lot. And I'm getting it down to like half a tank, and then I'm like, fella, So I think I've only like gone down like to the equivalent of, a tank of gas like once. So.
And again, that tank is, what people have as a spare for their lawnmower in their garage.
Yeah, but
so it's nothing crazy.
I feel like I'm saying, it's like, even though I'm spending $277 a month on the bike, I feel like I'm saving money.
I am interested. Well, yeah, definitely in the long run. I'm interested in seeing how late into the year you are going to be willing to ride that thing.
Well, so if I get a hoodie, or if I get like my Adidas, I'm all right. But honestly, with global warming, there's a good chance I could make it to Thanksgiving.
Like without dying, or?
Well, just, being able to ride it.
Oh, okay.
Without it being super cold.
It's like, yeah, I guess global warming is gonna keep me alive. It's like, are you
and
Timmy?
Then if I die on Thanksgiving, it'll be because I ate myself to death
on a bike,
stuffing in turkey and Hawaiian rolls. That's how I want to go.
It's aptly named.
That's how I want to go.
The way God intended.
The way God intended, on the best of days.
On Pie Day?
No. Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Pumpkin Pie Day.
I mean, every day is Pumpkin Pie Day with my first meeting.
I know, but it's like, oh, it's my birthday year. It's like, no, it's like, my birthday week, my birthday month. It's like, this is my Pumpkin Pie Day.
Well, with the weight loss, I stopped eating it a bunch, so I kind of miss it, but that's okay.
Sucks for you, nerd.
Right? Sucks to suck. Try to be all healthy.
Sucks to suck. Ooh, Patrick, I don't want to die.
Right.
That's how you sound.
I know. What a bitch. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this season.
Season
7.
That's stuff with the season of the witch.
Right.
We will be back.
Soon.
We'll post it on our Facebook with at least a week's notice.
Yep.
Because we have to figure out just timing of things. Because you're going to Tampa for shows soon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Figure it out. So between all the other stuff, we will be taking at least 2 weeks off, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can find us.
I was going to say, where can I find us online?
You can find us individually on Twitter at PatrickDucer42, even though he doesn't use it, at Hungry as a Bear. That's me. You can find us on Instagram at Hungry as a Bear. It's still me. At P Newson42 for your Instagram. Right? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I'll make a new graphic for next season. That is on my to-do list. It is on my to-do list.
And I'm going to make a GIF.
No, good luck. You can find the video version of the podcast. If you want to go back and watch the old episodes, they're still all on our Facebook and YouTube channels. The audio versions on all major audio podcasting platforms. But, we can do so many visual bits. You want to see the visuals. So Facebook, YouTube, search for Stupid's Talking Stupid. Like and subscribe, follow, comment, share, rate, review, spam it to everyone you know. Whatever you got to do. Let people know that a couple of assholes got some really bad opinions on things, and they need to hear it for their own damn faces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for season 7.
Season 7.
Season 7.
It took so long to get there. Not as long
I
as
know.
what was that season? Was season 5 the one that got interrupted because of the pandemic?
I think so.
And then we had, it might have been 6. I don't know, but whatever. When we had to make the transition to in-person recording to video,
right? It was
yikes.
a learning curve. Not like making a GIF in Photoshop, because there's sure a YouTube thing that takes 7 minutes to teach.
It takes 7 minutes for them to show in the video. But how long does it take Patrick to do it?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
We will find out.
Maybe I'll make a video of me making the GIF, and then
that will be the cold open for season 8.
There you go.
And the grand reveal will be just that GIF.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week. For Steven's Talking Steven, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Bear.
And we'll see you later.
Talk to you next season.
It's like you got tired in the middle for a second.
It's a marathon for him. Yeah, Belle, get out of here.
She's like, I can't. I'm watching a snail. He's almost there. It's that joke in Training Day. Guy throws a snail across the street. 2 years later, he comes up and says, "Fuck's your problem." You learn why this is funny. You'll learn the streets.
I forgot my keys.
No, don't go back. Don't go back. It's like, I forgot my keys.
No, here they are.
No, I had them after all. Okay. I'd lose my shell if it wasn't attached.
These are your keys, actually.
No, sorry. I think the oven's on. No, I turned off the oven.
Yeah.
And I'll just use your car.
Oh, wait.
No, wait.
I can't drive stick. Hold on.
No, the heck, I'll try. I'm going to try new things. It's 2022.
You know what? It's just on the street.
I'll walk. Get my steps in.
See you in 3 days.
Just to go, the fuck's your problem?